All right, now we're all set up to can some beef stew. So we're gonna go ahead and get this going. I've got some beef stew right here that I got from Costco, so we're just gonna go ahead and put some in each jar. We're doing the raw pack method just because it's the easiest thing. And we're gonna end up packing these full of meat and vegetables. Okay, we're gonna add some vegetables to each one of these. Doing about a half onion in each jar. It's gonna add a ton of flavor. Do some carrots next. Gotta really push everything down into the jars. To each one of these jars, I am going to add a teaspoon of Redmond's real salt. We're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of thyme to each one of these. All right, this is what we're doing after it vents for 10 minutes, because that ensures that the steam and everything inside of the pressure cooker is, ooh, that always scares me. And make sure that everything has come to temperature inside the pressure cooker. So then we add that. And at my elevation, I take it up to 12, but look at your elevation. Your pressure cooker might have different requirements. All right, so I'm gonna turn my heat down because I wanna keep it right around 12 pounds of pressure. It got a little bit high, so we're just going to turn the heat down to low and keep an eye on it. I'm going to pressure can this for 90 minutes, and depending on your elevation, my elevation requires 12 psi or 12 psi for 90 minutes. So we're going to set our timer. There we go. A few months back, I heard you could get a really good deal on a 10-pound log of meat from Costco, and that's when this video was taken. And I went up to the butcher counter and asked them for their 10-pound log of 90-10 ground beef, and this is what they gave me. So now I'm breaking it down into smaller portions to feed my family of 7. So we are going to vacuum seal this with my Game Saver vacuum sealer, and they no longer make this model, but I will link a similar model in this video's description. I like it because it's compact, it's small, it does the job well enough, and I like that it doesn't take up a lot of space. I can store it in a drawer with the bags and some other vacuum sealer attachments that I have for my jars and some other appliance attachments. It all goes in a drawer, it all fits nicely in there, and I can just whip it out anytime I buy food in bulk like this and I want to freeze it or remove the air from it or preserve it for a longer period of time. This works great. Well, friends, I had one failed broken jar, and I think I heard it crack when I lowered it down into the water. So I'm not sure if my water in my pot was too hot and my jar wasn't hot enough. I'm not exactly sure, but I lost about 1.5 pounds of ground beef, which is really sad. That's about $7 or $8 worth of food. All my jars are a disgusting mess. They are filthy. So I'm gonna have to scrub these jars. Hopefully they all sealed well. Otherwise we're gonna be eating beef stew and ground beef this week, but let me show you the mess. Okay, so my jars, I am gonna have to soak them in water and scrub them. They just got really gross, and I'm definitely gonna have to scrub out this pot, which has broken glass and ground beef in it. Here we've got our potatoes, and I put sweet potatoes and russet potatoes in there, and I'm just gonna throw some Redmond's real salt on there. I broke my Instant Pot, which is what I normally make baked potatoes in, but I have this Staub Coquette, and we are gonna bake this in the oven. And check it out, I buy my Redmond's real salt in these 25-pound bags. 25-pound bags, I get the fine ancient sea salt. I'm down to the last bit of this bag, so right here in this box. So we are gonna go over what I got in my Redmond's real salt because I am running low. Because we're going into winter, I wanna make sure I have all of the salt and everything that we need. This isn't salt for the driveway, this is salt for our consumption. I think I bought a 25-pound bag of salt about 3 years ago, and so I just got another bag of it. Right here we've got our Relight Salty Palmer, and then we also got some Relight Immunity. These are really good electrolyte drinks that you can mix into water. And then we got this huge bag of salt. And this will last us for a couple of years for our family of 7. Do this at least as messy as possible. Alright, so I have a cooler and it's got a heart and 2 liver in it. So I'm going to share that with you guys. Here's 1 elk liver. Hold on. It's amazing. Alright, this is an elk heart. Look at the size of this heart compared to like my fist. This is an elk heart. All right. This is the size of an elk liver. I'm gonna get this washed up and then portion it out. But if you're curious how to process liver and heart, I have a whole video on it on my channel. I'll link it down below in this video's description so you can check it out. Erin collaborated with a friend on a recent hunt, and we were given the elk liver and the heart. And now that I am filming this, I totally blanked. I meant to ask for the elk marrow bones and joint bones as well, because we love to make bone broth out of those portions. But we have a variety of cuts of elk meat and elk burger in the freezer. So we are going to take care of this elk liver and elk heart right now. I am going to divvy up the elk heart and freeze some of it for another day, and we're gonna cook some of it to eat this evening. So we are going to chicken fry the elk heart, or pan fry it, chicken fry it. Let's see, what else do we call it? You bread it and fry it, basically. So that's what we're gonna do. As I'm processing this liver, I'm just making sure to remove all of the little connective tissues and tough bits, all the ports going into and out of this liver, and all of the ligaments that connect it to the intercostal abdominal area, I believe. I'm not sure if that's the correct term or not, but there's things in your body that connects things to things, and sometimes those things are a little bit tough to chew. So we just go ahead and get rid of them, feed them to your dogs, feed them to your chickens. You can eat them if you like them. I'm just cutting those out of here now. And I do have this on a paper towel just because I'm slightly grossed out by all of the liquid and everything that while dealing with this liver. So I do use a paper towel to absorb some of it. Don't come at me with paper towel particles on the meat. It's not a big deal. It's fine. There's no chunks of paper towel on this meat. After getting this liver all portioned out and cleaned up, I am throwing these chunks of meat into the vacuum sealer bags, and we are going to vacuum seal these just like we did the other ground beef earlier. And we have these labeled and dated, and they go into the deep freezer, and we try to use them up within a year at the latest. Anything that we have that's over a year old, oftentimes if it's not looking the greatest, we can give it away to people that have dogs or animals that will eat it. At this time in our life, we don't have any pets that would eat any of our meat, but keep in mind your friends and family that do have animals that can consume those things. I'm just gonna go right down this middle.
It smells like peanut butter.
That's because somebody's eating peanut butter crackers.
Me. Holy cow.
Okay, so this is the inside of the heart, and you can see it's all awesome muscle meat. And then what I do is I just go around the heart, and I'm going to take out all the white hard bits. So that's how we process a heart. All right, so when you cut into your heart, you've got the grain going this way. So you want to cut against the grain so that you have a nice tender cut of meat that falls apart when you cook it. So we are just going to batter fry these in the skillet. Some of them I'm probably going, this bit right here I'm probably going to freeze for another day, but I've got it already thin sliced and processed. And then this we're going to cook up right now. All right, so we have some egg wash here with some milk. So we're gonna put that along with a little bit of salt in there. This is gonna go on our elk liver and elk steaks, elk heart first. And then down here in our flour, we're gonna do some salt, some fresh ground pepper, along with some fine ground pepper. Garlic powder or onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, and some seasoned salt. Go ahead and get our burner going nice and hot. Get it preheated. Mix all this up.
Why can't you leave? What you eating?
Liver.
What kind of liver?
Elk liver.
Elk liver? Who killed the elk?
You.
No.
Back.
Nope. Lance.
Lamb.
Mm-hmm. He's a good hunter. How do you feel after the liver? Let me see those muscles. Ooh, that's big. That's big time. You don't think it tastes weird?
Not so good.
Liver queen. Liver prince. What do you think? Thumb up.
Good.